This is the same problem that we've been working on. So we have the items and what is available on hand and what is the lead time from the previous problems. And in addition, we are also given scheduled receipts. Remember, scheduled receipts are purchase orders that are outstanding, that have been already placed, and we have specific delivery dates available. Like this 200 units of A will be available in week 1. 600 of C will be available in week 1, and 600 more will be available in week 2, and so on. And also for TOL and HQ, we have master production schedule. So we don't have just one single quantity, but we are given that these are the quantities that must be made available. So here the master production schedule is about the beginning. So the production of these quantities, remember that production must begin in the given week. Okay, so we are assuming that. So the MPS here means that 50 units of TOL must begin production in week 1. The production for 50 units of TOL must begin in week 1. Production of 100 units of HQ must begin in week 1. Okay. So in which case, beginning in week 1, the products that are the components required for that production must be available at that point in time. Now once again, we have to do the computations in the low level code order. So we have low level code. Okay, we'll skip 0 because we know 0 is already, the master production schedule is already done. So A, B, F, C, D, G, and then E. So these are the items. So we have to do the computations in that order. So we begin with item A. Okay, now let's fill out the given information. Okay, lead time is 2 weeks. Okay, given right here. And we have available 200, so we're going to put that here. So remember, our current time is right here. This is the current time. So that's available on hand. Okay. And in addition, we are also expecting 200 units to be available in week 1. So that's our scheduled receipts. Now we're going to compute the gross requirements first. So for A, what are the gross requirements? And the gross requirements for A come from its parents. And we have from the bill of materials, okay, there are 2 parents, 1 unit of A for each TOL and 1 unit of A for each HQ. So let me write that out here. So GR, I'm going to use GR to mean gross requirement, is 1 times the master production schedule of TOL plus 1 times the master production schedule of HQ. Okay, so GR stands for gross requirement. Okay. So let's do this first part first. So 1 times master production schedule of TOL. So it will be 1 times 50, 1 times 40, 1 times 40, nothing here, 1 times 60, 1 times 60, nothing here, and 1 times 80. And I will use red ink pen for that part. 1 times HQ, so we have to add that 100 to it, then nothing, and then add 200, then that's 200, nothing here, plus 200, then 300, and nothing there. Now we have to compute projected on hand. Now projected on hand is a projection, so it's not actual quantities, but this is what we expect. So this is projected on hand is projected inventory at the start of a week, at the beginning of a week, start of a week. So that's important. You need to remember that the numbers that we're going to have here are at the beginning of the week. So we start with 200 units available on hand physically. So that's what's going to be available at the beginning of the week. Now, these are the quantities that are going to come in and going out during week 1. So we're going to get 200 coming in. So 200 already available plus 200, so that will be 400 totally available during the week. And during that week, 150 would be used up for as dose requirement for the parents. So the remaining will be, so this will work like this. So you have 200 plus 200 coming in minus 150, okay, and that's going to be 250. So that's what the projected on hand. Okay, so this is that. So this is the projected on hand for week 2, at the beginning of week 2. Now, during week 2, 40 units of that 250 will get used up. So you'll end up with 210 as at the beginning of week 3. Now we have 210 available, but the requirement is 240. So it's not going to be sufficient to meet that demand. So we have what is called a net requirement. So this is net requirement of what? You need 30 more. If you have 30 more, then that will be okay. But 30 is not available. You're falling short by 30 units. So that's the one that we need to plan on receiving. We have to plan to receive that 30 units. If you have to receive 30 units in week 3, when should you order it? So that's planned order release. The lead time is 2 weeks, so we have to go back by 2 weeks and order it in week 1. So this is lead time equal to 2 weeks. Okay, now we have 30 coming in, 30 net requirement, so 30 minus 30, you'll have nothing at the beginning of week 4. Projected on hand at the beginning of week 4 is 0, and you have a requirement of 200, so that is our net requirement for week 4, and so that must be made available, and for that to be made available at the beginning of week 4, we have to order 2 weeks in advance. So for that, then 200 minus 200 will be 0. So you get the hang of it. So that 60 is your net requirement and must be made available. So you have to order 2 weeks ahead. And then 260, 2 weeks ahead. And then 300, sorry, this is 0. 300, 300, 0, 80, 80, and 80. So that completes the computation, the MRP computation for item A.